Hey guys, welcome to the recap of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 8, Episode 12, the grand finale. We're here at the grand finale. Finally, we're finally here. We made it, we survived, and I'm over the moon excited to get to the result of the whole situation of it all. So, of course, our girls from the Fame Game Variety Show are super excited, over the moon of their performance. And of course, we got the results. We had a double winners, and they are James Mansfield and Miss Lala Ree. Now, not only they get to increase their fan vote, they get to multiply their score by 2 and 3. Lala Ree gets to multiply her score by 3, and Miss James Manfield gets to multiply by 2, which is amazing because definitely for sure it makes you into a front runner for who's the winner of the Fame Games. And winner of the Fame Games gets to take home $60,000. Okay, minus how much you got to give to the IRS. Okay, guys. So, anywho, let's get into the main event, the main situation why we're here. We need to crown our all star. So, we have Jimbo and Miss Candy Muse, two queens that are offering two different drag. And everyone, it seems like the mood, the vibe, the moment is leaning towards Jimbo, as she has been a winner throughout this whole competition, snatching wins, snatching, maxi challenge, mini challenge, aside from the lip sync. Now, Candy Muse, she's been doing her work, she's been putting her effort, but I want this to be interesting. I want it to be a fight to the end. So, I'm here for it and I'm living for this moment. Guys, I'm giving you pigtail fantasy, okay? So, anyways, yeah, we're leaning towards Jimbo. Everyone's been rooting for Jimbo. It seems like Jimbo been set up for this win. But I'm still, giving out hope that, Candy can at least put up a good little cute little fight. So for me, I just want it to come close. I don't just want it to be just, a handout to Jimbo. I want to be gagged. I want to go through this whole moment because I feel like the winner of the All Stars should come through a fight. Okay, so we're gonna have a winner of the All Stars, and we're gonna have a winner of the Fame Game, guys. So let's cheers to that. This is a whole new change, a whole new switch up in the format of the show. We never had like another first place winner type of situation. But it's good because it seems like the show really wanted to recognize all the queens and what they had contributed into the show. So I felt like this show was more about the art of drag than the art of the competition. Okay, so let's get into it a little bit more. So we get to see a little bit more of the friendships moments in this show. We had the queens having a good time, laughing, bonding, and sharing, great stories with each other. And I like how in this episode we had a moment where Lala Ree is learning Spanish apparently, and it was so gag worthy because Miss Monica Beverly Hills is her teacher, and she's just teaching her all the things that she needs to know. And I'm just so curious how the Latin community, how they take Lala Ree's Spanish. Was it really good? Was it giving what it was supposed to give? But it sounded so funny, especially how confident Lala Ree was saying it. And here in this moment, we're just seeing just the infectious personality of Lala Ree. I just ate her up in this whole scene. And I like that Monica Beverly Hills had her opportunity to shine because Baby was only on one episode and was eliminated. But ever since she's been back, she's been clocking in, checking in, and sharing herself to the platform, which I am here for. So the queens are also continuing to share the fun, laugh, and support. We have Miss Darian Lake giving, Miss James Manfield's her props, her recognition. But then we also get a shady, light shade kind of moment from Miss Naisha Lopez. Because Miss Naisha Lopez, she felt like, there was other talents in the variety show that she felt that was a little bit better than Miss James Mansfield. And I thought that was cute, fun shade. And I liked how James Mansfield's her attitude. She let that kind of shade roll over. She doesn't take it personally. She let it slide, okay? So the queens, they laugh and they share some shade about the subjectivity of drag. And that goes to show you more, it's not so much competition focus. It's just everyone having their moment to show their form of drag. And whoever happens to perceive that drag is as being the top of the week. It just so happens. It's just so subjective. Obviously our top two are completely different, so it could have been anyone. Any of these queens could have been top two. Okay, it's just really by chance, just the performance that time. It was these two queens, Jimbo and Miss Candy Muse, turn. Okay, and we have another funny moment. I feel like Miss Kahana Montrese, she's giving us a good, cute comeback. I feel like now that she's not so much focused on the competition, she's able to be light and have a sense of humor because she makes this funny comment saying that, yes, drag is subjective because obviously beauty doesn't cut it. It's not enough. And I feel like she should have brought that energy and that attitude when she, was competing onto the show. Not to take things so serious, to poke fun at herself. I felt like that probably would have changed her positioning or the outcome for her in RuPaul's Drag Race. So I enjoyed this. This is clearly all, love and good drag, okay? So now Ru comes into the workroom and shares with the queens that they are and they will be crowning Queen of the Fame Games tonight, okay? Not only that, but Jimbo and Candy Muse still has a final maxi challenge that they have to accomplish for them to determine who is their all-star. So tonight, what they will be doing is that they will be performing their own solo original performance, which is written by the great Leland. And they will also be doing choreo that will go with their performance. And last but not definitely not least, the ladies will be doing their tic tac chick chat with Michelle Visage and RuPaul's Drag Race. So there's still some work that needs to be done by the queens, and we are here for it. Like I said, it's not even about the competition. It's more focused on the art of drag and hearing these queens' story. So yes, the competition is an illusion, but the drag is super real. Okay. So first up, we get Jimbo. Now, Jimbo, we get to see a whole other side of her. I feel like with Jimbo, we always get clown, we always get fun, we always get laughter. But in the Tic Tac Chit Chat with Jimbo, we get to see a more vulnerable side of her, the sad clown, if you will. We learn about her upbringing, her childhood, and pretty much she had both parents, a mother and a father, but things didn't look like what is seen on the outside or what it would perceive at the outside. Yes, his father was a scientist, and his mother was a teacher, but they were both alcoholics and they were struggling, and there was a lot of fights, a lot of hole in the walls in the home, and that's pretty hard. And you see Jimbo gets super emotional, and the look on Michelle and Rue, they were like being there as a support towards Jimbo, and they really felt for her in that moment. And they were surprised to see this whole other dynamic, this whole other side of Jimbo, because she only wants to make everyone laugh and have a good time. But, it's great to see this side of a queen and to see what makes her her. So you could tell that Jimbo is a beautiful person because to mask all this pain and give and share laughter and be the light of the world, that's just a gift. That's just a gift in itself. He does let us know that, his father has since passed away, but his mother has cleaned up and is his biggest supporter. So that is beautiful, and it was a beautiful moment, and I'm glad he shared that on the RuPaul main stage because that is super personal. So now we get to see the ladies, the Fam Game ladies, play with a furry pink box, okay? So it's pretty much a box that has questions inside of it, and it's for the queens to play a little fun game while everything else is going on. But it really turns into an opportunity to give these queens, to award these queens with prizes such as getaways, cash money, tip, which I thought was super deserving of these queens because we've seen the production, what they have done. They have produced so much good quality drag that, it's expensive, it is costly. And I'm glad that the show is tipping these ladies and giving them their dues. Like, yes, we all leave as winners, baby. So I love that each queen had their moment and they get their award, their prize. So I feel like they left with something. They're leaving here with something, okay? So I did not mind this because at this point I had accepted that this is not really a focus on the competition. competition, but the bigger picture is the art of drag. That was the biggest picture of this show, okay? So I like that they had the sponsors because there have been controversies before where they would award these prizes to these queens, but then by the time the show debut, these people who sponsored the prizes, they took back the prizes. So I'm glad that it's at the end of the show they could cash out that prize and keep that money and move on and continue to do good drag. So now it's time for Candy Muse chit chat, okay? And eat a little tic tac. So Candy, she reflects on her time on RuPaul's Drag Race, her complete time, when she started, in the middle, and how she feels now today. She feels like she's grown as a person throughout this competition. She has learned a lot about herself, and she feels like it's a completely different person. She has grown. So she is making, of course, the judges laugh and kiki, but then she makes it a point to be a little bit more serious and share why she really wants to win this crown. She feels like she's worked super hard. She completed a lot of assignments and she just wants her crown to show that she has completed what she has came to do, okay? And I appreciate that, Candy is being real because she doesn't want to be counted out. She wants consideration for her performance. She wants consideration of her drag. She wants consideration of her work and her effort. And Rue lets her know that she is her biggest fan, and that is the biggest compliment that a person can receive on RuPaul's Drag Race. And I know that's gonna set a fire on Candy Muse to really deliver and showcase why she is Rue's favorite girl. So now it's time to learn the choreo with Miguel Zarate. And can I say that this choreo session was so shady? What was the beef between Miguel and Candy Muse? I feel like these two were just throwing light shade at each other, trying to one up the shade moments. So I was feeling that completely, the vibe of that. Seriously. So I just love that, these two are going at it. And we learned that, Candy learned dance from Miss Miguel before, and it landed her in the bottom two. So there is a little bit of commotion, a little situation going on there. But Candy does not let this get her down. She learns the choreo, she puts it down, and she ate it up. At one point, I didn't know what the hell she was doing. She wasn't getting it at the time, but then she ends up getting it, and she feels super confident about her choreo. Now, when it was Jimbo's turn, I was super, super, super nervous because Mama did not win most of her lip syncs. And that is because, she's not really a dancer. She don't give dance. She gives theatric, but not dance. So I was pleasantly shocked to see that she was eating it up. I was like, ooh, Candy, you gotta put in some more work. And this was a surprise to all the queens. I think Jimbo, she held it up till the end. So I'm glad that she's coming through with this choreo because, girl, that was Candy shot. Okay. So it's the final day in the workroom, and the grand finale is tonight. So Candy shares that Rue said to her that she is her biggest fan. And she shares that to Jimbo, and I wonder if it's to get to Jimbo's mind. But I don't mind. I get it, Candy. You want to win. You will win at all costs possible. But Jimbo, she's out here just sewing up a final look that she plans to annihilate Miss Candy Muse in. And I'm like, girl, she is super confident in her sewing skills because that is a big risk. But if you're confident in your talent, then you better step it up. So now the ladies of the fame game are all like excited that they are, it's their final glam session and they will figure out who is the winner of the fame games. And it seems like all the queens, they feel like they have a chance. It could be them, could be her, it could be she. And I'm just like sitting there, it's gonna be La La Ree. So I'm enjoying how they're reflecting their time on the show and pretty much sharing how much they have grown as artists. And I really truly did enjoy these queens because I feel like now that the competition is now not at play, like They done all they needed to do. They're relaxing and truly enjoying this moment for what it is, as they should be doing. Now, I really did have a soft heart for Darian Lake. I did feel like Darian Lake went home too soon, and I was glad that she was able to showcase her work on the RuPaul's main stage, because she let us know that this was super important for her, especially because she was doing this 7 years sober. So I'm glad that she was able to have that moment for her as a sense of accomplishment. I'm telling you, all the queens are leaving as winners, baby. Even Miss Kahana Montrese, she's able to get some laughs out of the girls. And I'm like, y'all, my heart, my heart. So now it's time for the main stage. And I think the most epic part of the final episode is that we get to see RuPaul do a live performance of a, well, it wasn't live, it was a lip sync, but it was a performance because she danced. She really danced. She was giving us legs and dance moves with choreo and everything. I ate that performance up. She was performing ASMR Lover, and I loved it. I went and I was streaming this song over and over again. I feel like that album, Black Butter, I feel like you listen, you have a new favorite. At one point, it was Cake and Candy. Then Who Is She? Then Star, I think Star Baby may be my biggest, my favorite song. Okay. So, anyways, we are having family judge tonight. We have Miss Michelle Visage, Carson Kressley, and also Ross Matthews. Only family here for the final episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. So first we have Jimbo's performance, and Leland, he did his thing. Leland could sing. Leland could put together a whole thing, but I felt like Jimbo didn't really give me what I wanted for a solo performance. I felt like it wasn't enough. I wasn't wowed. Let me tell you, I feel like we haven't had a great lip sync moment performance wise in a long time. Aside from when we had that walk that duck moment, I will never forget it. We haven't had a moment like this, but I felt like for the grand finale, we needed something more grand. And I felt like, Miss Jimbo, I feel like she don't do lip sync do that well. But when we got to see Candy, what Leland had together for Miss Candy Muse, I enjoyed that performance. She was giving us Janet Jackson fierce, baby. I love that performance. She looks super fierce. She looks super hot, and that lift at the end was super iconic for her. So I truly enjoyed, and I find that memorable in her performance. So I felt like, okay, Candy Muse, I think you got that because you really did serve attitude, you really served body, you really slayed there. So I felt like, okay, Miss Candy got her leg into this. So we get to see all the queens. They come out to perform at the end to close out the show. And I have to highlight Miss Kahana Montrese. She was a star even as a background dancer, okay? As a background, she was singing, performing the hell out of her part, and I have to give her props. I feel like Miss Kahana Montrese, she really gave us and sing for us in that moment, okay? She had me believing that she was actually singing. So now it's time for the runway. Category is finale fabulosity. So first we get our returning queens from the Fame Games who will walk the runway to show us their looks. So first we have Miss Monica Beverly Hills. And to tell you the truth, I didn't like the dress. I didn't like the shape of the dress. I felt like it was ill-fitting, but the color was superb. And I felt like it gave in that moment based on color alone. But the shape of the dress, the fit of the dress wasn't it for me, sis. No, 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 no. Now, next we have Miss Naisha Lopez. Now, Miss Naisha Lopez, she came in this fabulous final look. I thought it was giving opulence. I felt like it was giving Bridgerton vibes. I feel like it was giving grand finale look. So she did her thing. Now, Miss Kasha Davis, she gave us classic Hollywood, but I felt like her glam looked cute. It was cute. It was very good. Now, Miss Darian Lake, she was giving us Kim Possible, drag Kim Possible. However, I cannot get over how gorgeous she looked in her comedy segment in the variety show. I felt like that look was better than this look. I felt like she didn't have to be so character. It wasn't even giving character glam opulence grand finale. It just gave me very much regular I'm coming as Kim Possible lookalike, okay, as drag. So next we have Miss James Mansfield, and she was giving us Vegas, but I felt like it was a bit off for me because she's not my Vegas girl. When I think of Vegas, I think of Kahana Montrese. Now, when Miss Kahana Montrese followed her right after, I was like, Mama, she did it. That was a 10. Kahana was not playing with these girls. She looked so good. She looks stunning. She looks sickening. She spent her money. She let you guys know that beauty at the end of the day does not fade. She got it. She got it. She got it. She got it. I loved her look the most, the whole out of all the girls, out of all the queens. Okay, I thought that was a winning look. So next we have Miss Lala Ree. Now she looks good, but I had an issue with the nude illusion by the top. I felt like here by the neckline, the nude illusion should have been more faded, more melted to her skin. I felt like the illusion was not illusioning. So I had to deduct from that. I was like, no, that wasn't it for Miss Lala Ree for me. Okay, but I'm not mad at it. Now, Alexis Michelle, she looked beautiful. She looked divine. The dress was well made. Jessica Wilde, I was a little bit let down. I feel like Miss Jessica Wilde, I wanted more. I wanted the colors. I understand it was her favorite colors, and it was her signature lipstick, the glitter. But I felt like I wanted more va va voom. I wanted more sexy. I wanted more hot. I felt like she was giving us a little bit of reserve. So now, guys, it's time for our top two. And first, we get Miss Jimbo. And I thought this was very punk Versace. This was kind of reminding me of one of her earlier looks that she came out on the runway with in the early parts of the competition, but I felt like it wasn't giving me next level as I have known her to do. It doesn't look bad, but I wasn't like wow, as I was before by her. Now, Miss Candy Muse, I felt like her paint impeccable. Her face, it gave me Betty Boop Boop Boop. It was super cute, super chic. It's just I hated that dress. I hated that dress. I'm sorry. I get it, but I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't have to get it, but I didn't get it. I felt like that face was super impeccable. I'm like, Candy, I don't know. It just wasn't my fantasy. It just wasn't my fantasy. So now the judges said they're giving their final critiques, but you guys know it's not critiques. It's more an applaud for their time here on RuPaul's Drag Race. They're not harsh at all. They give the ladies their points, their accolades of what they have accomplished throughout this show. Like I said, I'm not mad at it because the focus is the art of drag and not the competition. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for it to be more cutthroat next year. Okay. So, anyways, Rue announces the winner of the Fame Games, and of course, we've seen the social media. We know who it is. It's Miss Lala Ree, and she is super grateful that she has won $60,000. She is overjoyed through the moon, and I'm so proud of her because she really gave us the experience and we ate it up. Okay, so now it's time for the All Stars. They have switched their look for the lip sync, and it actually gagged me more than their runway looks. And I'm like, this is it. Jimbo was giving us big titties, big booties, and Miss Candy Muse was giving us shoulders. She was giving us some shoulders. So they are lip syncing to "Do You Wanna Funk with Me" by Sylvester and Patrick Crowley. 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 I don't know. But in that performance, I felt like Candy ate it up for me. She gave us comedy. She gave us good moves. She gave us face. I really did enjoy her performance, and I feel like she was a lip sync assassin in this moment. I felt like Jimbo, she did her little shtick with the bounce the titties, bounce the booty. She gave us comedy humor, but I felt like, she doesn't slay me when it comes to the lip syncs. So I felt like, okay, this may be really close, but at the end, when I saw Candy Muse slide on that runway and left it all on the table, I felt like, okay, maybe Candy does really have a chance. Like, what's gonna happen? I'm kind of like unsure. And, Rue lets us know and congratulates Jimbo as the winner of season 8 All Star. And I am happy for her. I'm gagged for her because she really did wanted this moment. This was her third try, y'all. She wanted that crown so badly. But I do think it was not out of reach for Miss Candy Muse. I just think that, if we look at the statistics, look at the performance, the record, it was definitely in Jimbo's favor. But I do feel like Candy gave her a run for her money, and she did what she was supposed to do, was put up a fight. So I'm proud of both queens, and this is not the end. And I'm pretty sure, I'm confident that Candy Muse do have a chance to win again at All Stars. Maybe she'll come a little bit closer. Each time she comes back, she comes closer. So I'm not gonna be surprised if in the future we see Candy Muse as being one of our all stars. Okay, so guys, I want to know what you guys think of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars season 8. What do you think of the whole plot of the show? What did you think about the competition? Do you feel like any of the queens was robbed? Do you feel like there was justice? I feel like I need a reunion. I want to hear about, these ladies' perspective on their time throughout the competition. We do get to see it off RuPaul's Drag Race, like on YouTube, and when they go on interviews and stuff like that. But I want to know more. I just can't wait for the next RuPaul's Drag Race, and definitely we'll stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys up to date, of course. So guys, if you like this recap, you like what I do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you who take the time to watch my content. It makes my heart beat so much. So thank you so much. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. I love you guys. And I can't wait for the next RuPaul's Drag Race. Anything, anything, anything. So let's stay tuned. Bye, guys.